Hello, welcome back. I'm Erica, a restorative and Yin Yoga teacher in San Francisco. Today we have a short but sweet Yin Yoga sequence for calming. So all of Yin Yoga is a calming practice, but these three poses are especially restful and turning the attention inward. So great sequence to do before bed or when you want to relax. And Lucy is joining us here today. So the only props you're going to need are a yoga mat and potentially a blanket or two for the final pose. Okay, we're going to start in dangling pose or forward, standing forward fold. So coming onto hands and knees, coming into our forward fold. So bending the knees strongly and releasing the torso towards the ground. Releasing the neck, shoulders, head, just allowing gravity to take the torso and top part of your body and just surrendering to it, while also maintaining strength in the legs. Now feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to here to ensure that the lower back is not feeling any sort of pressure, pain, or sensation. So knees bent as much as you'd like. Feet are about hip distance apart, toes pointed towards the top of the mat. We're going to be here for another couple of minutes, really allowing the head to sink towards the ground. You might clasp opposite elbows to add a little more weight, stretching the spine a little bit more towards the earth. You might shake your head yes or no, finding opening in the neck, gently shaking yes, no. Breathing into the hamstrings, the legs, noticing the sensation that you're feeling in the legs, adjusting as needed. Now from here we're going to slowly shift into our next pose. So placing the hands at the hips while you are in your forward fold, and then inch by inch moving the feet about hip mat distance apart and pointing the toes out just slightly. We are going to come into a squat. So engage the core, bend the knees deeply, and continuing and lowering the butt and continuing until you find yourself in a squat, placing the arms inside the thighs, gently pressing against the thighs, and then inhale, lifting up through the top of the head, creating a long stretched spine, allowing the tailbone to drop, relaxing the belly. We're going to find ourselves here for another minute. Go ahead and close the eyes and notice the sensations. What can you release? What can let go? What can open up just a little bit more, moving into a slightly deeper shape? Lovely, and from here go ahead and release the arms, placing them just behind your butt. We are going to come into our next shape. So go ahead and use your arms to support you in seated position. And Lucy, I'm going to have to get in your way. We are going to come into a forward fold, also known as caterpillar, depending on your Yin Yoga practice. And this is where you may want an extra blanket to go under the hips, and I will demonstrate. And we put an extra blanket under our hips in this position to ensure that the natural curvature of the lower back is in place. So you'd fold over the blanket like a bolster and then scoot your butt all the way to the end so only the sits bones are really on it, and you should feel nice natural curvature of the lower back. Beautiful. Legs are outstretched in front of you, about hip distance apart. Legs are slightly engaged, so I've flexed my feet. If this is too much on the knees or you have any knee conditions, you may want to place a blanket underneath the knees, and I will go ahead and demo that. Lucy, can I get this blanket, please? You want to come with it? Okay, well, my lovely assistant has the blanket right now. So you would simply fold the blanket like the one in the back and then just fill in the open space if that feels better for you. Okay, inhale the arms up. Reach, lift, reaching all the way up from the waist, all the way up through the tips of the fingers, and exhale, forward fold. Now folding until you come to your edge, and then go ahead from there. You can just simply drop the head and neck. So this is our seated forward fold. Wrists, forearms lay gently by your calves. I recommend palms up. Beautiful. And once you find your shape, closing the eyes and releasing, surrendering to gravity. With each inhale, reaching with the spine, and each exhale, dropping the head, the neck, the torso closer to the legs. What can you let go of, and what stays strong? Can you release the head, the forehead, relaxing the muscles around the eyes? Neck releases, the shoulders let go, the hands are soft, forearms relaxed, shoulder blades drape down the sides of the rib cage towards the ground, just surrendering to the mat. The belly is soft, the hips are engaged, and you may feel sensation in the lower back and the hips. Take a deep breath into the sensation and exhale, release. Deep inhale and exhale. Flipping the palms over flat onto the mat. Using the palms of the hands, slowly coming up to seated, one vertebrae at a time, taking your time, bending one knee and then the other. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.